What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to this week's version of our score predictions. My name's Tony. I'm still filling in for JDW. Let's get into it. Week 14. We've got some really fun matchups this week, starting out with the Packers and the Lions. NFC North matchup. This game should be really fun. I'm going to be honest. I'm really excited to see, especially down the stretch, how the NFC North really starts to shape out, because so many people are really high on the Lions, but if you're like me, I don't think the Lions are as sound as a lot of people think that they are. I look at the Lions and I see really good talent, but they have a good, not great quarterback, and their defense is falling apart every single week. Like, they just get so many, like a new injury every single game. And I don't think Jared Goff is really the answer that the Lions are looking for to win a Super Bowl. I think they could go to a Super Bowl, no doubt. They could absolutely go to the Super Bowl. But I'm looking at this Lions team, and it's really reminding me a lot of last year's 49ers team. Except, I mean, the 49ers, they really kind of got blown out by some of the better teams, or at least lost to some of the better teams that they played. And the Lions obviously only have one loss to the Buccaneers back in week 2. I mean, they're doing really good, but I just don't know how long they can keep it up. I mean, they've got a really good opportunity here against the Packers. I know in a couple weeks they're going to be playing the Bills. And I think if they have those games back-to-back, which I think they do, then those two games are really going to show us who the Lions are. Because, I mean, they barely escaped with a win against Chicago. The only reason they really won that game was because Chicago had an incompetent head coach. But, like, the Packers don't have that. They've got really good coach and really good players. I mean, the Lions have also an amazing head coach and amazing players. I don't know that. I'm really interested to see how the Lions handle their remaining games. I do pick the Lions to win this one. I think they'll win 26-17 against the Packers. It's at Ford Field. Man, my biggest thing to look for is what happens if the Lions don't get the number 1 seed. What happens if they have to go on the road to Philadelphia? Because that's probably who would get the number 1 seed. If they have to go on the road, because they play in a dome. Jared Goff plays in a dome. I don't know what Jared Goff is going to look like if he has to play outdoors in Philadelphia. Like, I don't know. That's where it's like, I'm not 100% sure that I'm buying the Lions. I think at best they're probably the third best team in the NFL. That might be a hot take, but I that's what I think. But I still think Lions get the dub over the Packers, 26-17. Okay, moving on, Browns and Steelers. This game, rematch of 2 weeks ago. I picked the Steelers to win that game. Obviously, they didn't. Probably expecting a low-score game. I mean, Browns kind of just, I don't know where the frick Jameis Winston came out of nowhere against the Broncos. Technically he threw 6 touchdowns, but 4 for his own team. I don't know. I don't think he has a 500-yard game in him against the Steelers. The Steelers have a much better, idealistically, they have a better defense than the Broncos. I think the Steelers win this game. I know I picked them to win last time, but I'm picking them to win this time. 25-18 is what I think the score will be. Moving on, Saints and Giants. Kind of a low radar game. Not too big of stakes unless you're, looking to the draft, but that's mostly for Giants fans because I don't know that the Saints are really looking to get such a high draft pick, but definitely think the Saints will win this one. I think they'll kind of blow out the Giants, probably 30-13 is what I think the final score will be. Moving on, Jets, Dolphins. I don't know, this This matchup feels really evenly matched. Jets haven't been great this year. In fact, they've kind of just sucked. And the Dolphins haven't been consistent. And we're starting December football, and we all know how that usually ends up for the Fins. It will be in Miami, though. So I think I'm still going to give the Dolphins a win here. Probably, I think, 28-17. Moving on, Jaguars and Titans. This one, battle of two teams that are just tanking. Another low radar matchup. Jaguars won't have Trevor Lawrence. They'll have Mac Jones. I think they're just as competitive, especially with a team like the Titans, with Mac Jones as they were with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think that's such a big quarterback. I don't think there's such a big difference in quarterback play that they wouldn't be competitive with a team like the Titans. I think the Titans will still win. I think it'll be really close, 21-20. I think Titans win. Yeah, that's that game. Falcons, Vikings. This one's intriguing because I don't know this at the moment, but I think the Falcons might be benching Kirk Cousins for this game, starting Michael Penix Jr., which could really change a lot of things for the Falcons offense. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. is really good at throwing the deep ball. I mean, watching him at Washington, he just had such a beautiful throw. And I mean, like, if Michael Penix can have a good outing in a start, then I mean, I think the Falcons could beat the Vikings. Vikings haven't looked terribly amazing recently, especially last week, like just barely coming away with a win against the Cardinals. I mean, who's another 6-6 team? Falcons 6-6. I still think the Vikings will win, just because. I mean, it's Michael Penix Jr. Probably. I think it's his first start. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it's his first start. And the Vikings, they have to stay competitive, and I think they'll really just be doing anything that they can for a win because they have to. I mean, that division is so tight up top with those three teams that like they can't afford to. I mean, they're still in it for the division, but they have to keep winning games, or else, you know, they're gonna find themselves in third place. And I mean, I guess that's the thing that you have to think about. What's the difference between 5th seed and 6th seed? You know, the 5th seed, you could host a 6th seed potentially, because I think those two teams are very good. I think Vikings and Packers, they'd both be wild card teams, and they'd both be playing. One of them would play the NFC West champion, and the other one would be playing the NFC South champion. And both the Packers and Vikings, it doesn't matter which one they play, would be definitely favorable in that matchup. I think maybe if the Vikings were to play a team like Tampa Bay, I think maybe the Buccaneers could give them a fight, but I don't know. But I think Vikings win this game against the Falcons 23-14. Moving on, Panthers and Eagles. Panthers, Bryce Young's been playing pretty well for consecutive weeks, which is not something that we've really seen him do in the NFL. He's been keeping the Panthers very competitive against, you know, the Buccaneers, the Chiefs. I mean, I like the Panthers. I hope they can do good, but the Eagles are just so hot right now. They're so hot. I mean, if they drop this game to the Panthers, you can forget everything I said about, you know, the Lions maybe not being the number one seed. Because if they lose it to the Panthers, I could see, you know, the doors just blowing off in Philadelphia. I mean, they're going to be calling it for Nick Sirianni's head. I mean, it's calmed down a little bit because they've been winning. But if they lose a game like the Panthers, then, well, good luck Sirianni facing that Philadelphia fan base. I still think the Eagles get the win. And honestly, I think they end the Panthers' competitive streak And it's kind of a blowout. I'm thinking 33-16. Eagles beat the Panthers. Moving on, Raiders and Buccaneers. Raiders, so close against the Chiefs. I don't care who you blame. You blame the center, you blame the quarterback, you blame the refs, whoever you want to blame. I don't know. I mean, probably because it's a division rivalry that people care so much. But I'm like, did you really think you were gonna win that game? Because I'll tell you, I didn't really. I thought the Chiefs would win that game. Chiefs are a good football team. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, they keep winning one-possession games, but, are they winning? Yes. And as long as they keep winning, it doesn't really matter. Lots of the Bills, because, Josh Allen is probably the best player in the NFL, but, I mean, I had no expectation that the Raiders were going to beat him. That said, I think Raiders keep it competitive. I mean, the Buccaneers, I feel like every Buccaneers game this year has been really close. I feel like every Buccaneers game has been one possession. That might not be true, but it sure feels that way, and I don't have any reason to believe that this one won't be. I think the Buccaneers win this one 23-20. And that'll take us to Seahawks and Cardinals. Ooh. This matchup might not seem like it's going to be too much, but this is like a very tight race for the NFC West, and it's mostly between these two teams. I mean, the Rams, you can throw the Rams in there, I guess, but I don't know. The Rams don't feel like an NFC West contender. It really feels like it's coming down to the Seahawks and Cardinals. And I think the Seahawks, I mean, that was an ugly game against the Jets. But they're still pretty hot right now, I think. And I think that carries over because, I mean, the Cardinals are mid. Both of these teams are mid. And the Cardinals just lost barely to the Vikings. It was a game that they really shouldn't have lost, but they did. It is a home game for the Cardinals, so I guess there's that. But I don't know. I feel like the Cardinals, they've been competitive, but I think it's time that they just. I think it's starting to fall apart for the Cardinals. I think they lose this game. I think Seahawks win 25-21. I just like the Seahawks in this matchup. I just do. And that'll take us to Bears and 49ers. This game should be fun. Bears just fired their head coach. I don't know what that's going to do. If that's going to propel this team to be like, okay, we got rid of the bad man. Now we can just go drop 50 points a game. We don't have, crazy people running the sidelines. But I don't know. The 49ers, I feel like the 49ers need a win. Look, I mean, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They're probably out of contention for their division. But, everything feels like the 49ers just need a win. And, I don't know. I think I like the Bears in this one. I think Bears win 24-17 over the 49ers. The 49ers definitely need a win. But that said, the Bears have so much. I don't know if good vibes is the word. I really don't know what the Bears are going to look like after firing Matt Eberflus. But the 49ers are a mess. Christian McCaffrey just went back on IR. That team's just a shell of themselves from a year ago, and I don't think they beat the Bears. And that'll take us to Bills and Rams. This game has potential to be good. I mean, the Bills just absolutely stomped the 49ers last week in Buffalo. But now they got to go to SoFi and play the Rams. The Bills, in my opinion, are probably the second best team in the NFL. I would say the Eagles are the number one team, and the Bills are the number two team. And I like the Bills to definitely win this game, but it's I think mostly it's how close is it? can the Rams stay competitive? If they can stay competitive through this game, I think they're going to lose no matter what. But if they can stay competitive, then I think that going forward, they'll have more, I don't know, momentum, you could call it, or I don't know. I don't think it's going to be close, though. I mean, if the Rams win this game, they're right there with Seattle for an NFC West division. But I don't think they'll beat Buffalo. I don't. I think Bills win 34-19. I think that's kind of, I don't know. Josh Allen is freaking Superman. He is. I mean, the Rams. I don't know that the Rams really have an answer for that caliber of player that Josh Allen is. He might not be the best player in the NFL, but he's definitely the most athletic player in the entire NFL. I mean, maybe Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson is a better player than him, but I don't think anybody can do what Josh Allen does on a weekly basis. I mean, that guy literally puts on a cape and goes out there. Bills are like a 7-win team if they don't have Josh Allen. That's generous. They might not even be a 7-win team. But with Josh Allen, I mean, they just won their division, and it's week 14. Technically, they won it in week 13. But, I mean, yeah, Bills win this game. No doubt in my mind. The Rams pull off the upset. Whew, look out, Seattle. But, yeah, I think the Bills definitely win this game. Chargers-Chiefs. This one, I'm kind of excited for. I don't know why I'm excited for it, because it's the Chiefs, and they're playing in prime time, and so obviously they're going to win the game. But, I mean, the Chargers beat Cincinnati, and, I mean, everybody was like, okay, let's get something going. Like, beat Joe Burrow. That's, I mean, it doesn't look like much in the large aspect of things. Joe Burrow scored like 30 points in like 6 games, and yet he has a losing record. It's insane. The defense is atrocious. And then they played the Ravens, kind of maybe got a little bit humbled after the win against the Bengals. And now, last week, they had to play the Falcons. And that game wasn't, the prettiest offensively for the Chargers. And now they have to play the Chiefs. They're coming off of 2 uglier wins. Or, not wins, but they're coming off of 2 uglier games. And then the Chiefs are coming off a lot of ugly games, but they still keep winning. You can say what you want about the Chiefs. I don't like them either. I really don't like the Chiefs. But you have to give them credit for keeping winning. And you know that once they get to the playoffs, it's game over. Especially if they have the number 1 seed. I mean, yeah, no, if they have the number 1 seed, we're looking at a 3-peat. And because it's over. Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose in the playoffs. Especially doesn't lose at home. I mean, that's why, you have to root for them to lose one more game and the Bills to just win out. Because if the Chiefs have to go to Orchard Park in the playoffs, then it's a little bit more like, okay, this could be fun. This could be interesting. We could watch the Chiefs lose. Not saying it's a given, but it's more likely that they lose having to go on the road to Buffalo than if they get to sit at home and play heaven knows who in the playoffs. The Chiefs will probably win this game against the Chargers. I think it'll be 26-20. Every single game, the Chiefs-Chargers in the Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes era has been 1 score. I don't know if the Chargers have won a game. If they have, it's not as many as the Chiefs have won. But, yeah, I think the Chiefs will win. The Chiefs are... Look, you point out their flaws because you hate them. But in reality, the Chiefs, they're a good football team. It doesn't matter. Look, are they winning football games because this close because they're lucky, or are they winning games that are this close because they know how to win? I think it's because they know how to win. Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls. They are not winning because they are lucky. They're not. You can keep saying that because you hate them. I hate them too. But I have to accept reality. The Chiefs are a good football team. And whether it's because of the refs or not, they're probably going to at least get to the Super Bowl. And I think they'll probably win it too. Doesn't matter if it's the Lions, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Packers, whoever. They get to the Super Bowl, it's going to be a three-peat. I don't care who they play. It probably will be. Monday Night Football. Bengals and Cowboys. I don't even know what to think about this game because, look, the Cowboys aren't great this year. That's not exactly a secret. I mean, they're 5-7. However, they are on a 2-game win streak. They beat the Redskins. They beat the Giants last week. I think they're on a 2-game. They might be on more. They beat 2 division rivals. And while neither game was really pretty, I mean that Redskins game was quite exciting, but it wasn't pretty. But I don't know, the Bengals, the Cowboys haven't really been terribly great on offense, and I think maybe the Cowboys not being great on offense will finally allow Joe Burrow to not have to be Superman this week. I mean, he's been Superman every single week. Only difference between him and Josh Allen is that Josh Allen is actually winning the games, and that's nothing against Joe Burrow. We all know it's the defense. Joe Burrow's doing everything in his power to make sure that his team wins. I mean, I think, look, if you put Joe Burrow's offense on, let's just say you give Joe Burrow we'll even just say the Browns defense. Like just a mid, I'm not saying the Browns have a mid defense, but you give them any mid defense, let's give them the Jets defense. Let's give the Bengals the Jets defense. The Bengals are probably undefeated right now. Maybe they have one loss, and it's to the Chiefs. That's who their one loss is probably to. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you get the Bengals and actually like even anything better than what they have right now, the Bengals are the best team in the NFL. Joe Burrow is running away with the MVP case. Except, okay, well, he's probably not running away with the MVP case just because he wouldn't have to. Like, he could probably go out there and score, 24 points and call it good. Like, he wouldn't have to go out there and score 31, 38 points a game. Like, that's the only reason his stats are so high is because he has to, and he actually can. But if he doesn't have to, I don't see why they would. But I think the Bengals finally get a win against the Cowboys. It's hard because, the Bengals are just a mess defensively. Joe Burrow is so frustrated with, where they are. You can see. And the Cowboys are riding a little bit of momentum. But this is mostly just my bias speaking. Really, I think the Cowboys will win, but I'm going to pick the Bengals to win because that's who I'd rather see win. I think Bengals win 24-14. And that'll pretty much wrap up this week's picks. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.